Notice to everyone on the board. The Associated Students of Ventura College, ASVC, adheres to the State of California's Brown Act, such as the ASVC board meetings may be recorded. If you plan on recording this meeting, please make an announcement at the beginning of the meeting. Thank you.
Do you want me to go over there and say it's like...
Or you can turn it around.
Okay, well... Or, I'll just do it over there.
Either way, let's get it moving.
Huh? Yeah. Well, my name is Edgar Barton, and I am recording the ASVC meetings, and I guess that's... I don't know what I'm saying.
Sounds good. I have a question. Why are you recording this?
Well, I had been asked from students about things that were going on in the meeting, so students who are going into other classes that don't have time to come. And like, as an example, if you send text message to someone, you're not going to see the emotions and people's actual wording and how they sound, so you don't get an actual feel if you just read the minutes.
So are you like broadcasting this, or are you?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like a live feed that people can...
No, I don't know how to do that.
Live.
I'm not that technically advanced.
And did you ask anyone before you did this, or decided to do this?
What do you mean?
Did you just jump and decide to do it, or did you ask the board how it felt about it?
Well, I talked to Rick beforehand with David Bransky before I started the whole.
But it was your idea, not
Yes.
David. Yeah.
So can you tell us where we can see this?
Sure, no problem. It's on my YouTube page. It's all, the only thing on there is just ASVC stuff and March. It's SOKNEE08, and that's my ID. Yes. No, not on Facebook, just on YouTube.
We received a report. It has been posted on Facebook.
Just one, so that people
So it
can
is
see
on
where it
Facebook.
goes. SOKNEE08.
And the one that appears on Facebook, what account is that on?
That's mine, but I only did it once, and that's fine. In deep, and I don't know about that. That's all you got.
Is there a way that you can get the whole board rather than just like 80% of the board?
If I could stand to put it at the
How about
board.
the podium over there?
Like, would that be unfair if you're
Sure.
taking all the rest and not yourself?
If I
Yeah, if
could.
you put it right there, you'd be able to have the entire board.
Okay, there's a plug right there, so I can do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, why don't you go ahead?
Okay.
Okay, so with that, does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, so with that, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve minutes.
Excellent. Teresa first.
Actually, I have a comment on it.
Oh, okay.
Can my name be changed to Teresa Donovan?
Sorry. Okay, then.
Oh, dear Lord.
What page is it on, Teresa? 3. 4-3.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, 6.7. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Trevor first reads the
It's
motion.
recording.
That's been amended. That will be amended. Does anyone want to second the motion? Giera. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All those that abstain? Okay, so carried. Okay, I would like to introduce Kelly to you all today. Kelly is from the VC Voices, and the VC Voices gives scholarships to students in the community who enjoy writing, and she may need some volunteers to help out.
Well, that's true. Actually, I need to back up because I'm also making a funding request that I understand is too late for your usual deadline. And I am going to see if Dave would make an exception for this. So if he'll make an exception, then I'm giving this for your consideration. So you might want to just decide on the merits of it if you wanted to provide some prove it, then that won't work. Although I suppose we could even talk about sending the checks to the people retroactively in the fall. Let's just maybe talk about the merits of the publication. I brought some past copies of VC Voices. I'm almost ashamed to put the current one around because it's my desk copy and it's just these little pieces, but I mean, please do take a look. VC Voices is a magazine of student writing, I was the founding editor, and I was the editor for 5 years, starting in 2002. And each year, all year we collect the best writing we can find. I mean, we have asked students to submit, we ask teachers to encourage those students to submit from all levels of English classes. So this is from the very, very basic level of English 4, English 3, 2, 1A, 1B, and including creative writing and literature classes. So in the spring, 10 faculty members gather, and we take off the names of the students and the teachers, and we do this anonymously. We select what we feel are the very best pieces. We know from experience that probably the most we can publish in this format is about 30 pieces, so we choose 25 to 30 pieces. We just finished our judging session, and we choose our 30 winning authors. We also select artwork that's in the galleries for the end of the year student art show, and with their permission, we photograph it and include it. And I have to apologize for not understanding the funding deadline. We've received financial support from ASVC almost every year we've published it. The first couple of years we didn't ask, we didn't know it was available, but it is a tradition. Unfortunately, though, we've had a change of leadership. It's an all-volunteer effort, so we're all trying, but nobody really understood the deadline. Yeah, those are my notes. They're not passing right. Oh, that's okay. No, I know what it is. Okay. But that is one an important request, because for each author, although the real prize is being published, we do say, and we always do, give a small award check. Last year it was $35 per person. We did select more pieces this time, so I think we need to make it $30 per person. It's an honorary. But it's, it's a nice thing because we have the teachers there, vetting the work, and then we edit it, we publish it, and it's just, it's a small award saying you are a published author. This year, in our budget, we have $730. We need to retain about $300 of that to produce the free copies for the authors, the artists, one desk copy per faculty member to urge them to use it in class, and perhaps a few others. We aren't exactly sure what the price per copy is going to be, but that's why I'm reserving $2.50 per copy. So we would like to retain $300 of our budget for that expense. So we would be asking ASVC to grant us. So we would spend $430 on awards, and we would ask you to match that plus $40 more, $470. I also wanted to tell you this publication is used in the classroom. It varies, but usually it's used in about 10 different sections of English. Maybe we'll be a little more next time. And we assign it. Students talk about it, and we write about them. It's a really good resource. So that's the money question. Would you like to ask any questions about that, and then I'll give you our light manpower?
We have a website now. It's the Ventura College Pirate Soup website that's coming out, and that's supposed to be our new online media source. I'm just curious, would it help you to cut costs if that was put on the online? Because that's something we're trying to get anyways, is things that our students have written. So
well, it's something to consider, whether we want to go to a totally online format. It would be a little bit harder to use in class. We need a printed copy. And if we had both, but it's something to think about. That would be a great resource. We just have to think about how it could still be used as a traditional text in the classroom take home.
it can be
So the
from the
prize-
classroom. They can access it through the computer that's there in the classroom and pull it up through the through the projection.
Yeah, right.
And they would still be able to use it because I'm working with Amy Jones, who's the person who's doing Pirate Soup, and things like this can be put in book format.
Okay.
It would look exactly like the book, but on
Yeah,
the screen in the
that's right.
classroom.
I'll tell, the future editor about that.
From what I understand, the prize is for it to be published.
Oh, yes, it's not for production.
So to be an author, the prize is being voice, and then there's like a small nominal amount that each person is given. Is that correct?
Yes, right, so the money we're requesting is.
It's just for the prize.
Yeah.
So you know the poems and everything that you've written, then it would be in a book.
You know, I have a friend that's published in this year's edition, but that was my question, was if it was the award class or if it was part of the publishing class also.
So does anybody else have any questions, Kelly?
Well, then, I know originally Jacqueline Hardy Walker had, did she speak to your meeting already, or just to you? That she said that there's been a wonderful offer of help or other things. One thing that we could really use is for the award ceremony. It's very nice. Students invite their family, maybe their parents or maybe a few friends, and they come in. We have refreshments. We usually have readings from some of the pieces and such. Very, very nice. Quite often tears are shed, in appreciation. Anyway.
Okay, so if we can all listen.
I understand you have helium and balloons, and would you guys be willing to decorate maybe the archway to the reading room of the library?
Sure. Are there some volunteers for that? So there's Tina. I know that Teresa Montoya from AGS is here, and a lot of AGS members volunteer
All
for
right.
Point. Teresa is willing to.
Okay.
Is there anybody else who is willing to help out?
Oh, yeah. The award ceremony is Thursday, May 4th at 4 p.m. So it's 4 p.m. on the 4th. So maybe anytime that afternoon to put up the balloons. I'd have to check with the librarians how much ahead of time they're willing, but I'm sure a couple of hours they'd be fine
So
with
it's going to be in the
that.
library.
Yes, near the nice reading room area. It's the 4th. It was changed. Oh, is it a Wednesday? Oh, excuse me, it's a Wednesday. May 4th, Wednesday. Sorry. Yeah.
So, by show of hands, who would be willing to volunteer and help out that day? So there's. So we've got Sierra, Therese, Tina, Amanda, Justin, myself. Anyone else?
Wow, that's a lot. Okay.
All right. So what else you tell me is I'll email you everyone's contact information.
Okay. All right. And let's see. The one other thing I was asked by the committee to request is a dessert. How would you go about getting a dessert?
We can get those donated for you.
Okay. It could be cookies. We expect maybe 50 to 60 people.
Well, Tina's the community relations director, so,
Okay.
and Tina's really got a lot of skill in that
Okay.
department. So do you want to see that? Tina?
All right. Cool. We'll be getting other food from other
Just
sources.
cookies
but-
or?
Well, we're working on getting sandwiches donated from Subway, and bringing some beverages, and so just maybe a little sweet of some kind. All right.
So,
That's it.
okay, so we're going to thank Kelly. And then I'm going to make a motion to add VC Voices as a discussion item as 6.7. Tina motions for that. Does someone second that? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? That abstain? Okay, and then there was an oversight in creating the agenda, and that is you are going to need to add 6.8 AIAF as a discussion action item. It was an oversight, so does someone want a motion for that? AJ, Ben, Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those that oppose. All those that abstain. Okay, great.
I'll just pick up those.
Okay, thank you,
invoices.
Kathy.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
And I will
so,
be in contact about whether these two people will allow an exception on
okay, wonderful, thank you. Okay, so with that, moving on to Rick Trevino for his
Thank you
report.
very much.
The only thing that I have is this last week for the election applications. They're all due on the 11th, on Monday by noon. So if you know anyone who's interested in joining the board, an executive member, I encourage them to apply. Congratulations coming up. If you haven't already volunteered to help us, I'm not sure. Tina's gathering volunteers.
For what?
Graduation.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone you called me the day, did you say there was a meeting?
Earlier today.
I know, well, I have a flat tire and stuff.
So the homework candidates meeting Monday at, I'll say 4 o'clock.
Did you say Monday?
Monday, 4:30. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Okay, so with that, I want to acknowledge all of you because as you have all probably seen, the renovation has started to the student lounge, which is the legacy of this board. So I want to give you all a round of applause for making that happen. And I wanted to let you know that I received several messages for Hands Across California this week. And the first of which is 8 scholarships are going to be awarded and through Hands Across California. And the scholarships are a $500 cash award, and they're going to be given to students who apply and enter a contest that is, you would take a photograph and then you would submit it, and it's of a campus experience, campus elements, news and events, technology and learning, portrait and personality, conceptual, career preparation, and work experience. There is a grand prize for the overall winner that's more than $500, and I'm going to send these two flyers around. If you're interested in this award, just let me know. The other thing I wanted to let you know in Hands Across California is we're being endorsed by a lot of people now, and it's the individual responsibility of anybody who wants to participate to go online to handsacrosscalifornia.org and reserve your place in line. Here on the campus, I've seen some things on Facebook where people are saying, oh, nothing's happening at the campus. Well, in reality, the line for Hands Across California goes through Campus Way, which is right here by the ASVC office, all the way around the college, down Telegraph towards Main Street, and then up towards Foothill, yeah, up towards Foothill. So that's where we need the majority of the people for our campus. Did you have a question, Dylan?
Yeah, I was just wondering, is this something that we're going to discuss as well? Because I don't know.
Oh, no, it's part of my report.
Okay, so we're not going to discuss it.
Yeah, I'm sure we will discuss it, but it's something that I'm reporting to all of you. So it's definitely going to go along Campus Way and through up to Foothill. So we need to link as many people as possible, and all those that are interested in applying for a scholarship through Hands Across California, please see me. I have the information for you. Okay, so there's scholarships, Hands Across California, and the renovation. Okay, thank you. Okay, so with that, moving on to Jerome Washington for his report. Jerome.
Thank you. So the budget finance met yesterday. We were working on 3 proposals from the Seniors Night, from the Biology Club, and the AIS Club. The budget finance recommends to spend and support Senators Night to spend up to $1,137.15. That consists of a Jolly Jumper, a dunking tank, wall climb. Oh yeah, that's what I meant. A Oh, and the budget
And the
grant?
booths for the football call.
That as well, in addition to the $250 for the booth for clubs at $50 for 5 clubs. The second topic or proposal, which was recommending to spend $482.56 for the biology club. They proposed to request recycle bins around campus, which consists of 12 bins at $34.45 per bin and lid, which is good. And third and last is to recommend $815 for the AIS club to attend a conference trip in San Diego. So yeah, that's pretty much that was about it. That meeting. So, that's it.
Thank you, Joe. Did you have a question, Monte?
How much money did you approve for that? I just missed it for the AIS one.
8:15. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to Beth Shepherd for her report. Yay, Beth! Okay. All right, so moving on to Trevor Zierhut for his report.
Excuse me, everybody, I'm a little sick today. The only thing I have to report on today is letting you know about UCSB's Student Veteran Organization is having a conference for student veterans. This is going to be on April 23rd from 3 to 8 p.m. at UCSB's Corwin Pavilion. There's going to be a no-fee, just completely free dinner provided. It's going to be a kind of smart, casual attire. Scholarships and awards are going to be available for student veterans. Let's see, they're going to have the keynote speakers are going to be the UCSB's Chancellor, which was kind of a big deal, retired General Ricardo Sanchez, and Congresswoman Lois Capps, who is the Congresswoman for Santa Barbara and also, I think, certain areas of Ventura County. And let's see, this conference will allow student veterans the opportunity to network with other student veterans within the state and learn about resources and services available to them. It's also going to be highlighting the benefits and resources for student veterans, current news concerning the GI Bill, and changes to it. So if anybody has any questions about this, just let me know. I've got all the contact people for that. So yeah, that's it for my report.
Okay, so moving on to Monte Ortega for her report. Okay, so moving on to Martha Olin for her report. Yay, Martha! Yay, Monte! Okay, so moving on to Justin Thompson for his report. Yay, Justin! Okay, so moving on to Amanda White for her report, and happy birthday to Amanda!
Thank you. I don't have much to report, but I will say, I wish everybody good luck who's running the elections this year. And last week I went to El Camino High School in Sierra to get their high school students to sign up for Hands Across California, which was actually, it was really good. A few of them were actually a lot more interested than we assumed that there would be. So it was a good success. So that's it.
Wonderful. That's really great. That's really awesome. Okay, so moving on to Tammy Chaparro for her report. Yay, Tammy!
Hi, everybody. Let's see. The History and Pre-Law Club is on April 7th, is going to be collaborating with the MUN, putting on together a movie night. Also, they will be putting on a field trip to Santa Barbara coming soon. The Sociology Club, they're going to be having a body image event. That's going to be on April the 27th from 9:30 to 1:30 p.m. And the University Transfer Club, we're down pretty fast. The VC Vets is having a fundraiser swap meet. That will be April the 16th and the 17th. They are collecting donations that they can sell, and the money will be going to the club and to the veterans organizations of their choice. And our next ICC meeting is going to be April the 14th at 2:30. So I have time for it.
Thank you, Tammy. Okay, so moving on to Therese Bluas for her report.
next week there will be an event committee. Once it's decided that for the clubs to pick what club would be at Senators Night, like the event committee will discuss them and which ones they need to the best idea. We'll be doing that, and I'm asking someone to see if they can perform for a class California. So hopefully we can have it.
Wonderful. Thank you. So it's next Tuesday at 11:45.
Yeah, right before this.
Okay, Justin, do you have a
Yes,
question?
quick question. Especially has around about the sports for ASVC, right? Who's putting that on? Like, who's the one that
Wait, what? Huh?
starts? You want to start sports? Or is that Kyla?
Oh, yeah. That was, well, me and
Oh, okay. All right, I'll talk. We have this on discussion today, or is it just?
No, that could have been in the
No.
report. We could add it to the discussion as 6.9, but we need to get to the clubs
Oh, yeah.
today,
If there's
so.
time, I'll bring it up. But
When is it?
I was just gonna say, like, since the weather's getting warm, I saw basketball and baseball and stuff. We should do beach volleyball.
Ooh.
That's
Okay,
good,
so
but-
how about that, something that you and Kyla and Jerome can talk about
Yeah.
after, and we'll put it on the agenda next week. How about
Okay.
that? So, unless you want it on the agenda for today?
Oh no, it's cool. I can wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so moving on to the Community Relations Director, Tina Miller, for her report. Yay, Tina.
Okay, so as far as ASVC stuff is concerned, I haven't really been working on much. I am working with the Holistic Health and Wellness Club though, and we are working on the Wellness Week. It'll be April 11th through the 14th, through the 15th. We're going to be doing our week-long events that we did last year. We're doing really good. And on the 14th is the actual festival that we're going to be having. So if there's any clubs that want to do some volunteer work and can help out with that, we'd greatly appreciate that help. And you can contact either me or Monse to find out about that. But other than that, that's the only thing I've been working on. So.
What day is it?
The festival itself is on April 14th, but we have events going on the whole entire week, the 11th through the 15th. And we're in the process of hopefully getting approved to do a big painting in the quad. So that's still in the works, so it might happen, might not happen.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Tina. Okay, moving on to East Campus Representative Sierra Doa for her report.
Alright, so Amanda and I went to El Camino last Friday, and the students were really enthusiastic, which I was not expecting. So I think we're going to get a really good turnout with El Camino. And they want us to go back, so we can schedule a interview to come out on Friday.
You know what generated from that? Chelsea Moody, the vice president of El Camino, came across here and was talking about it. Really inspired me.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I ran into one of their students today, and he said that he's getting his family to come out too, so that's really exciting. Also, I'm creating a flyer for our book club and giveaway, so that's really all that I'm doing, and if anybody needs help with anything, feel free to ask me because I don't have much to do. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Sierra. Wonderful. Okay, so moving on to the action discussion item of the recycling program. Jerome Washington, the treasurer, said that the finance and budget deemed it fiscally responsible. Does anybody have anything to discuss regarding recycling before the vote?
You said it was physically irresponsible.
Fiscally responsible.
Irresponsible.
Okay, so with that, does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, so,
Was that the amount they requested?
yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'm allowed to vote on it, right?
Yes, you are. Okay, so all those in favor of the recycling program and spending $481.82.15, 56 cents on recycling, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
What's the second?
All those abstain. There's already a motion. Okay, so carried. Okay, so, Senators Night. Huh? So, Senators Night. Does anyone have any discussion regarding Senators Night, or can we just on it right now? Any discussion? Questions? Any questions? Okay, wonderful. All those in favor of spending, do I have to do 2 votes?
Oh,
Which you could do over the
I just got, something new for Senators Night. We got Justin to DJ at it.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Sorry.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So, the first vote we're going to do is for the $1,137 and $1,137.15. Yeah? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those that oppose. All those that abstain. So carried. Okay, so next is the vote for $250 for 5 clubs on campus to create foods for Senators Night. So, Monse, do you want to just explain how those 5 clubs will be chosen? And
Yeah,
then
there's,
some
so
questions.
there's going to be, the deadline for next Monday to submit like the idea stuff, and we're going to meet with the events committee, and then together we're going to decide on what clubs are the chosen 5.
And what
So
is
Tina
your,
has a question, then Jerome.
what is it that you're looking for from the clubs as far as their tables concerned, and what's the
Like what their
money
plan is,
allowed to
how
spend on?
much they think they're going to be spending to like have a budget together to bring to us, and the charity they're choosing for.
And
like
how are
what
you-
they're gonna be-
Like, how are you gonna determine it though, whose is better?
What they
What's
like,
the,
But like, they're gonna be like an attraction, like at Senators Night. So like,
no,
they have to
I
do-
think you're missing the question.
What's your question?
How are you gonna determine which, like, let's say you get 10 clubs, how are you gonna determine which club's idea is better?
Yeah, like depending
So
on
yeah,
their
we're
budget,
trying to-
what charity they want, and especially like what they're gonna be giving at Senators Night. Like, you don't want just people just standing there, like something that's gonna engage people who wanna go to the food. So like a better idea.
So like, the games and
Yeah,
whatever.
we're,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be a mix of
Okay.
games.
Jerome, did you have a question?
Did you ever figure out how you guys will be keeping track of the inventory and money raised?
Oh yeah, we had agreed to doing the your ticket idea.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. It's
No, but I'm just saying, yeah, that was good. I wish I would have came up with it myself, but
You're welcome. No, totally just kidding. Totally just kidding.
Okay, so if no one else has any other questions? No? Okay, good. So, we're moving on to voting for the $250 for 5 clubs on campus to create a booth each for Senators Night. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? All those that abstain. Okay, so carried. Okay, with that, if it would be okay with the board, can we vote on the AIAS right now? Can we move 6.8 to 6.4? Does someone want to first that?
I'll first.
Okay.
6.7.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to suspend the orders of the day so that we can.
You make the motion.
I'm going to make a motion to suspend the orders of the day to vote on the AIAS right now. So Tina first that, who seconds it? Justin, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone that opposes? Does anyone abstain? Okay, so with that, we find it fiscally responsible to spend $850 for AIAS for a conference. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. Now, in the presentation, I may have misheard, if you guys are also planning a trip to another school San Luis Obispo.
Right, for Design Village.
Yeah, so that's why the money in your account isn't gonna, it doesn't cover both of them, so you need this.
Exactly. Design Village is a little bit more expensive actually than the
Yeah.
conferences.
And that you're going to be doing on your own as a club, or are you going to be requesting money?
No,
again
that,
for
the money in our account is going towards Design Village.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about that Wednesday, because we only have a few people that are going to be able to go up to that, and the rest of people are going to go to the conference.
Does anybody else have any questions? From what I understand, you gave a donation somewhere, just like your club did as well, right?
Not
Didn't you
fun.
donate to a university, or you created something at the university?
I don't think so.
That's what Andrew had told me.
Yeah,
You
not
probably
my
got confused
knowledge.
with the design village at Cal Poly. Yeah, the design village, you make some sort of donation.
No, the Design Village is a competition that is held there it's for universities, community colleges, anyone can go there, and they have like a theme every year. And basically, you build a structure. This year's theme is connectivity. So they want you to build a structure that can sleep a certain amount of people and can connect to all the other structures. And so they hold it at this huge hill there, and you get 50 colleges with all these different contraptions that are all connected to each other. You kind of camp out there for a night, and then they have like prizes and stuff.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so does anybody else have any questions for Bryce? Okay, with that, we're voting to spend $815 on AIAS's conference. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All those that abstain? So carried. Okay, so with that, we're moving on to the next discussion item that was suspended from last week was Hands Across California. So one thing that I wanted to communicate to everyone is I know that there are other groups other than the VC group. So to be able to extend the opportunities for the scholarships and to communicate where everyone is going to register in line, that's why it's on the list. So, and also the poster that says California, someone tore that down. So it would be really great if perhaps Justin, you could write California on a poster and then put it up there on the stage.
So they tore everything down?
No, they just tore part of it down. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Justin.
I got it.
Okay, excellent. So, does anyone have any questions about Hands Across California? How many people will be linking that day? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us. Okay, so 9, 10, 11. Okay, excellent. So on the day, around the school, we're going to need line marshals. And we would just send shirts and these packets to give out to people that want to be line marshals. So how many of you would like to, there's different corners at each intersection, so Campus Way at one side and the other side then into your line marshal, and then from Campus Way to Fort Hill. At each where there's a street, there needs to be someone that's a line marshal for that line. So the line marshal just keep everyone in order. Yeah, the line marshal's going to keep everyone in order. They're going to receive a packet of instructional information and opportunities within the center.
So you're gonna walk around, or are you just like stuck?
Yeah. Well, you can walk around if you're a line marshal. If you're in the line, then you're linked and you're holding hands. Okay, so Tina wants to be a line marshal. Does anybody else want to be a line marshal?
Walk around.
So you'd be a line marshal, you'd get a shirt, a packet, other incentives. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I'd rather walk
Cool.
around.
Does anybody else want to be a line marshal? Okay, so I'm requesting that the
April
clubs that are
17th.
going to attend, that you let your people know that there is incentive to people who want to be a line marshal. And if they do, to contact me as an intern for it.
And that's April 17th, right?
Yes,
From
April
2 to 4?
17th at the Yeah, well, it's at 2 p.m. I'm sure it won't go until 4. It's going to start at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. is when we're going to late. 2 p.m. is when there's going to be media coverage of the line. 2 p.m. is when all the people engulfing it, such as Quincy Jones, Bill Clinton, Ryan Seacrest, they're the ones that are going to be out there. They're the ones that are going to be on the media that day. But we will be linking with them. I did an interview this week with the Ventura County Star, and they're going to be there that day, and they're going to take photographs and everything and put it in the newspaper. Teresa.
You said we're going to be linking with them, so am I going to be able to talk to Quincy Jones, or how does that work?
Well, it just depends on where he's standing in California.
Do you
So
know
if he reserves a spot in line next to you, then you could talk to him, I'm sure, but if he's not standing next to you, then you know.
Is anyone famous standing next to us? No?
Well, it just depends on where you reserve your spot in line. I know that there are some people within the line that the people that do have a degree of fame are choosing to stand next to in line. So they get to pick their spot in line. So if they pick their spot in line next to you, then yes, you
Can I pick my spot of mine next to them?
If you knew where they were standing, you could.
Do you know where they're standing? Being head of this thing?
Some, not all.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Who are the ones you know?
Well, I don't think that's really
Yeah, I want
important
names
right
and
now.
so I could reserve my spot.
Well, my suggestion is that you reserve your spot at Ventura College in support of Ventura College and scholarships for Ventura College. That's my suggestion. And my suggestion is if your club is participating, for you to stand with your club members or the ASVC board that day.
The Holistic Club has another event that day.
Oh, they do. So you won't be participating?
That we know.
Then I guess we won't be standing next to anyone.
Because I was thinking, like, if there was someone famous that we would stand next to.
Are there any other questions? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so with that, we're going to move on to movie night. Jerome.
So, with movie night, I figured that would be a good idea to reconnect after a really tough semester and just have a good night, have fun. I call it the Real Thursday. I mean, I think that if we would have watched scary movies, it'd be fun, but if anyone else has a better suggestion or would like to do something else, we can definitely choose that or vote on it or whatnot. My idea that, okay, I will finish first. I thought maybe Paranormal Activity 2 would be a pretty good scary movie. It's a new movie, pretty popular. And that's why I had a list of people that were actually down for that movie, or if they have a suggestion. So,
That's a great movie.
does anyone have any questions? Aaron?
Not anymore.
Good?
Does it have to be a thriller?
Well, if we do comedy, I don't think people would really
What about action?
action. I don't really want to watch it,
Because
but
I can find a bootleg copy of Sucker Punch and watch that. That movie is really cool.
well, we can plan for another day for it. But as far as really,
You didn't give us time.
but the date will be April 14th, which is next week on Thursday.
And the time?
Gee, I think that's up to Rick. My ideal time would be at 8, but Rick doesn't want to.
Where?
Actually, in one of the science buildings, so we can have like the whole like theater look, other than in the.
Rick has to attend, right?
Yeah. Who's first? Edgar.
Rick, what time do you prefer?
Don't ask him that. I was gonna say like 5.
No, he's asking is why.
Because I have to go a long way to get back home.
Could we find a different
Yeah, we
advisor?
can find a different.
What is your
another
music
advisor.
favorite?
Another advisor. You guys are playing.
Advisor at ASVC, so he's going to be there.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Another advisor? Okay, I like that. I mean, no offense, Rick. It's all love, buddy.
They want to ixnay you, right?
I was absent last week, so I don't know exactly what this is for. for? Is this a fundraiser or is
No,
this
no, no, it's just basically like
Oh,
a
okay.
day just have fun and hang out.
Oh, okay.
Is there gonna be
It's just a
popcorn?
day to watch a movie.
You can bring your own popcorn. You can bring your own
You're not.
snacks.
What? We're not
I'll bring in the
requesting
movie. Just be happy, you know?
Make a potluck.
Yeah, let's do a potluck thing.
Say,
At 5 o'clock.
What?
It's dinner time.
Does anyone else have a-
I give my input. I just think we should have an 8. It feels more better if it's.
Well, I agree with you. We should have an 8
No, I'm
because
just
it's
scared.
darker.
Once it gets like later. I know this is like.
Because the earlier we have it, there's a lot of people that have class during that day, so I figured the later the better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just thought I'd let him have fun. Okay,
We have more stuff to do.
okay, so with that, we can trust Jerome to organize that and to talk with Rick and organize the time, and then we'll discuss it again next week.
Yeah, but does does everyone agree with Paranormal Activity, or is there another suggestion that as a scary movie?
Quarantine.
Quarantine? Wow, that is I'm sorry.
It's awful. It was awful.
It was very awful.
I
I
know
can't believe you
one.
said that. Okay, sorry.
That's really mean.
No, we were just
People
joking.
like that.
Ah.
First said it's awful. He's saying
Really good one. You might want to check out. I know a lot of people have seen this Perfume. It's kind of not so. It's borderline not scary, but kind of twisted. It's really cool. Really cool.
Okay. That's a good one.
That's a good movie right there.
Good?
The original Halloween.
Okay. Which one? There's like
Yeah, you said the original.
They're all originals.
I
Okay.
know, but it's better than.
I know I wrote The Exorcist on there, but there's another gory, scary as hell movie called The Tube.
That's a weird movie, dude.
It is.
When they're stuck in the cube
Yeah.
in space, and then they go into a different room and they see their own bodies.
Yeah,
That's the weird.
that's a crazy movie.
Talk about that.
And they go to 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone else?
Well, does anybody have these movies? Just ask.
The internet.
I have all of them.
I'm sure.
You have all of them? Okay, then we're good.
Okay, so with that, we're going to move on to the LRC survey. Did everyone fill out the LRC survey?
Yep.
Also, like,
And return it to Jerome?
also, I don't know if anyone has received an email regarding the LRC. Anyone? Yeah, it's now up, so if you can, please fill out the survey online if you do get it. But my other job was to make a physical copy for everyone that actually used the survey.
And when is the feedback or the results from the survey happen?
We mean when it ends, so we can by the end of this month. My goal is to have the hours changed by 5 months.
So, if we fill it out online, is it gonna be like count as double that we put it out? Because we all already filled out the paper copy?
Yeah, I have no idea. I figured that would be more available to people who don't want to do physical copies versus people who do want to do physical
We
copies.
should only do one per person.
What if you have an overflow and you go and you want your voice to count twice? Why don't you do it online?
That's smart. Any other questions for Jerome? Okay, with that, we're going to move on to Hero Day. It's an action discussion item. Do we need to vote on it?
Not really.
No, we just discussed it. So today we're going to vote on whether or not we're going to have a Hero Day. So Jerome, do you want to tell us when Hero Day is?
28th?
Oh.
Yeah.
We moved it to
We
this
should
week.
move it last week. There wasn't enough time?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to present it really quickly
Oh,
to everyone?
man. Okay. So Hero Day, which is another day that we don't have to spend any money, we don't have to really do anything. It's just if you would like to dress up as your favorite hero or be your own hero, I think it would be really cool. I was going to talk to Justin and see if we can put some music playing in the afternoon, play some, I don't know, superhero music, like a remix of Superman, mix of Batman and but yeah, I think it would be a good idea to mix some positivity, dress up as someone you like, or whatever. I thought of being what's his name?
Batman?
No, Quail Man. Quail Man. Who knows Quail Man?
You're going against Batman now?
Well, Batman at night, Batman in the day.
So what's the purpose of Hero Day?
Dress like a hero.
Just as a hero, be a hero, become a hero. Who wouldn't want to do that?
We're already in a hero.
I like it.
No, I'm just gonna dress myself.
I'm also going to donate like tickets to the best hero costume. So 2 tickets to the best person who just
Two tickets for what?
movies. Sorry.
Sorry. So the movie's like movie night?
That's a good one. Edward Cinema, and I think Regal, whatever Regal. is. Or whatever.
Wait, what was the date for Hero Day?
28th.
28th of this month?
Yes.
Okay, so if no one else has any questions regarding Hero Day, we're going to put it to a vote. So, yes, I'm entertaining, so that it's
Wait, when's the time for the competition between the different heroes?
I was thinking more 4:30 or 1.
4:30 to 1?
No, 12:30 or 1.
Well, you just did that.
So, with
We are allowed to
that,
vote on something right after
Oh, and you don't have to have a costume if you have like a
yeah,
Superman
because there's no
t-shirt
money
or
involved.
whatever.
When there's the proper procedure is if there's money involved, we have to discuss it and then give everyone the opportunity to go back to their clubs and talk to other students on campus. However, if there's no cost involved, we're allowed to vote the same day.
Who's choosing the winners?
I could. Actually, I don't
Is that
want it.
fair?
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's not
gotta be
fair.
Rick.
It's Rick. Oh, wait, I forgot. Rick wants
Is
to
that
dress up
fair?
in his spandex.
With a big R on your chest?
I don't know.
Well, I want to know who's choosing the winner.
I will.
Go to lunch. Let's
Well, I will. I mean, it would make sense because I'm
Can we
donating
just, like-
tickets and I can't win my own tickets.
Can we just
so.
vote,
I'll be the judge.
Yeah, I'll help you. I'll help you.
So the
Tammy.
answer
Fair,
is
though.
Jerome and
Well,
Tammy are going to
I'll help
vote.
him.
Yeah, me? Okay.
Tammy. Randy Jackson and Colorado. There it is. There it is.
Okay, so with that, does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, wonderful. So I'm entertaining a motion for Hero Day on April 28th. Someone want to motion that? Tina, Tammy's going to first it. Sierra's going to second it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All those that abstain? Okay, so carried. Okay, so with that, we're going to move on to VC Voices to discuss that, so it can be voted on next week. Does anybody have any discussion with regards to Kelly's presentation? Theo?
How will we be able to provide what she needs if it's past the deadline?
That's a very good question, and until I speak to David Keebler, I won't know. However, if David Keebler does say that it's possible, then it will be possible. If he says it's not possible, then it won't be.
So is that something that you all probably know by next, that won't be
I thought she said,
next meeting?
I thought she said she could give them the checks retroactively.
We're not gonna do that, but the only thing you guys can do is approve it, and then if it's possible, it'll happen, if not, then
So it'll still go on the agenda as an action item next week. And so if we vote for it and it's possible, then it will be. If it's not, it won't. Does anybody else have any other questions? I wasn't expecting the presentation or that she was asking for money. But it happened, and there's funds.
Well, it sounded like that was, she said that mentioned that it had happened before the last few years. Is that?
It didn't happen last year, so that's why it wasn't on any of our radars, because.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
I believe that it's happened in the past. It's the English department.
Now the money, does that come directly out of the ASVC's general?
And out of
So
the
then
general
we'll start
fund.
next week?
Yeah, however, I have to ask this question. If there's no budget and finance meeting this Friday, so it would have to be Monday again.
Or I can't.
Well, it would be hard because then.
Yeah.
The week off the other day.
I left class the other day, and I have a candidate's orientation that day, and I'm in class till 2 o'clock that night.
Tuesday, right before the ASVC.
I could do
So
that.
perhaps, is that possible?
I don't think it will be because I mean it was really a struggle to kind of get people to meet on Monday, and I don't think that we should move our schedule around just for a late proposal. So
Is there anybody from your guys' meeting that's not going
not going to
to NCSO? Because
Well, here's the thing though, she did ask for help from volunteers, and we will be helping with that. And she did ask for help with getting a dessert, and we are going to help with that. And so what we'll do is we'll have to let Dave Kugler know that it can't be a discussion action item for next week, but the following week. And we'll have to find out from David Kugler if that's possible, because the guideline that I heard was the 8th of April.
No. I just had a question. If it's, it's supposed to be an award ceremony, what are they going to be giving as awards if what they're asking for is the money as awards?
I think from what I've heard per se, because previous to the presentation today, I haven't heard anything except that they need that help for volunteering. So what I heard her say is the award was to be published in the
Okay,
BC
so
Voices, and if we approved money, they'd receive $35.
Okay, so it's basically like an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
one of my questions that I just had was ignored, and two, since I'm already going to
What
go look
question?
for the question about, is there people that are on the finance and budget committee that's not going to NCSL, because most of you guys are all going, right?
Well, because I kind of answered it.
I think Jerome answered it by saying there wasn't going to be anything.
Yeah.
And the meeting can't happen without Rick present.
Well, then
So
in that
Rick
case,
has to be-
can we, since I'm already going to ask for donations for sweets, is there a possibility somebody can help me and we can go ask for donations in the community for this instead of using? I know, but can we do that too to help cut the money coming out of our budget?
You have to talk to them.
I just
That's
honestly
something that they
You know, it's all right. I was just gonna make them.
You can,
What?
the sweets,
Yeah, why not?
it has to be prepackaged with the expiration date on it.
Why?
Anything that's given out of.
I thought that was just a
Safety
sale, not to
regulations.
get the.
You're not supposed to give out.
I think so because
Not to give out.
safety-
Not to give out.
Something
Only
like you
for
taking it
sale.
in the back of the store.
It's all,
Same way
anything
I do.
given out on the
Someone
Ventura
who's
College campus.
certified to practice food safety and
Yeah, but
sanitation regulations.
You think so? That I'm we're calling it that? Just like when we.
Yeah.
So there's a requirement that one
Okay,
person in the kitchen has to.
we want to
food
have
safety
enough
certified.
time for the 6 clubs to speak. Okay, so.
Just one last comment real quick on the VC Voices thing. I know that English department people probably don't normally concern themselves with budget matters, but everybody with a VCCCD email address got the email from, what's his name, Keebler, saying that, there is a deadline after which you cannot request funds. So, I mean, it was an oversight on their part. If we can't do it, we shouldn't feel bad. It was an oversight on their part. So.
Because it's gonna make everyone else think they can do the same thing,
Yeah.
request money over our heads.
I mean, like we said, if anything, it's going to be 2 weeks, from today. So, it's.
You have to look at what they're trying to do. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
trying to promote the English
Oh, yeah,
department
that's a good
and the
thing.
students at the school. And if anything, by looking at what's actually happening here, I think we should assume that, you know, this is what we are here for students to be able to be published in something. And if there's anything we can do to help, I think that should be done.
Absolutely. I mean, but the thing is, it's if anything, it's going to be 2 weeks from now, which is a stretch that it's even going to be possible. So, you know, it's definitely something worth doing, and I totally approve it, but it doesn't seem like it.
So I'm confused. I thought Tina was going to ask for donations.
I am, and Tina's going to ask for donations for dessert.
But my question to
What
go
were
what
you
you're talking
trying to
about
do?
was if we can also, while we're asking for donations for sweets, ask for donations for the prize money or something like that.
And you
But
said-
Rick said not. Yeah, so can we get their contact info?
Well, I was agreeing with Trevor because, I mean, that will allow 2 things. One, the date. I mean, if they can do it, why can't anyone else like us do it? And it was on my VCCB. The other thing, oh shoot, okay, yeah, I forgot.
Okay, so if we're asking for donations, how are we asking in part of like ASVC or like the school?
I believe that as the community relations director, Tina is going to take a standard form to businesses in the area that have tax ID and on behalf of ASVC.
Yeah,
ask to help sponsor the dessert for the food voices.
It might be too soon to ask, but do you know who you're asking?
Very quick, might be too late.
Huh?
Volunteer off opportunity.
Maybe
I don't know
Joe's,
exactly.
okay.
Maybe it's something you guys can talk about after. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And so definitely, what we're going to do is it's going to be an action discussion item for next week. We're going to hope that the Budget and Finance Committee can meet before, and I will talk to David Puebla, and if not, it'll still go as an action discussion item for the following week because it's going to be completely up to David's discretion of whether or not it's possible. Okay, so with that, does anybody else have any questions? Jerome?
If David says it is possible, are we forced in a position where we have to meet?
No, but
Or
we
are
should follow through the action to completion.
Well, okay, the other thing that I remember now, it would be hard for us because then we would have to rearrange our schedule and we shouldn't have to do that.
Well, I believe in your ability as the chair of that committee to do what's in the best interest of the students, and if you feel that that's in the best interest of the students, then I will hire you. So with that, does anybody else have anything to say regarding DC Voices? Okay, so moving on to AIAS. Raj Swimmer for his comment.
I just want to thank everyone for their continuing support of AIAS. I wasn't here last week to thank everyone for coming out to our event and supporting that. And just want to say, like, part of our mission of our club is to get people transitioned from the architecture department into college. And it's the time of year right now where everyone's getting accepted. And so everyone in our club who has applied has gotten into a college. Most of them of the college of their choice. So just wanted to let everyone know that that's kind of what we're doing. That's kind of what our mission, and everyone's kind of following through with that. So I'm just kind of proud of everyone in our club for getting into school.
Okay, so with that, moving on to AGS President Teresa Montoya.
So we did the Teen Voice with the City of Ventura, a homeless essentials drive. We got over 500 toiletry items with just the Honor Society and other faculty that helped us out as well. And so that was really awesome. We were able to go and make the baggies with all the items that were needed. Unfortunately, there's more women than men that are usually at the homeless shelters with their children. So we were really happy that we were able to somehow contribute to that. Also, we did the Red Brick fundraiser. We don't know about the specific amount yet, but a lot of clubs went out and showed us support and ate there, so that was really amazing, and we appreciate that. Also, we just went to the AGS state convention, and that was really awesome. We're going to be relaying the information to the rest of our members in the coming weeks. for the end of the semester. And we're also going to be doing the Relay for Life. We possibly will be doing a rally on campus. So if anybody is interested and you want to talk to me after this meeting is finished. But we've raised over $1,000 for Relay for Life, American Cancer Society so far. So we hope to continue to raise more funds for them.
Awesome. Okay, so moving on to Beyond Macmillan from the Biology Club.
So basically, sign-ups for the Anna Kappa trip are happening. You just have to go fill out your field trip forms if you find Cami and talk to her about that. We have 17 spaces available, minus the 2 advisors, so that's 15, and we already have, I believe, 13 in. Not all of those people will be going. So if you are interested, I'd encourage you to fill out a form because it is highly possible that you can go. And that is April 17th.
I wish I could go to that, but I suggest anybody that can should.
It's very fun event, very good. And then other than that, I'm excited about moving forward with the recycling project, and I'll be sure to inform you guys about how that goes. I'll be talking to Jay a little bit later, and hopefully they've made some steps with acquiring a dumpster for the paper, so we'll see what happens with that. And Thursday night there's E.O. Wilson, who is a very large, or very well known author in the biology community. Will be giving a talk at Santa Barbara Thursday night. Might be one of the last talks he ever gives. He's very old, probably die soon. So it's maybe your last chance to see him. You may want to get out there and just see a great person in the academic world and the biology world give a talk on a few of his books. So that will be at Santa Barbara City College, I believe. Maybe UCC. Talk to me if you want. That's it.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, with that, moving on to EOP SSA Club President Edgar Barton for his report.
Alright, just wanted to let everybody know that if you guys have any EOPS students in your club, to tell them to come by to EOPS because we have our UCSB trip, and there are 4 spots because we've had 6 people with the permission slip to go by the program and go fill those out. Other than that, we still have our scholarship. We're reviewing for the
field trip?
Yes, it is this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. We'll be meeting here about 7 o'clock-ish. We'll be using the school's athletic vans. And our scholarship, we're currently in the process of reviewing them, and the winner or winners that we choose will be recognized at the annual EOPS recognition night at the 4 Point Sheraton Hotel. That's all for us.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Edgar. Okay, moving on to Shannon Husky for the GSA report. Shannon.
The only thing that we have coming up with students is we're having a small meet and greet at the park sometime this weekend. We haven't decided if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. So I'm not sure on that. But it's just going to be like a meet and greet for community members to like get to know the other members a little bit better. But everyone's welcome to come, and share our things, just something about this one.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shannon. Okay, so Maria's not here, right?
We have no information.
Okay, so moving on to Model United Nations, Arthur Valenzuela for his report.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to let you guys know, we just went to our Western Collegiate Model United Nations Conference at Santa Barbara City College. It was a 3-day conference. We represented Germany and Lebanon, the Security Council, the International Court of Justice, Economic and Social Council, and the General Assembly too, which deals with economic and finances. What else? Our guest speaker was actually a foremost political analysis, John Stossinger. I don't know if you know him, but he's written over 10 award-winning books dealing with international relations. He got his he taught us how he escaped Hitler from Vienna, then Czechoslovakia, then he ended up in Shanghai, China, as a Jewish refugee, and he ended up getting his PhD at Harvard. And he's actually taught Harvard, Yale, Columbia, and Princeton. And he was actually our guest speaker. He tells how he thinks China is a great place in the world, but what they're doing lately, how their national security is pretty much ruining civil liberties. But aside from that, we just got invited to UCSD for their scrimmage, for a one-day scrimmage actually. We'll deal with such issues in NATO with Libya and the G20 dealing with nuclear energy. And I think, oh yeah, and we decided our issues for our high school conference. We're going to do the General Assembly dealing with the role of industrialized nations in the development of the third world and transfers of assets of illicit origins. For another General Assembly for legal counsel, we're doing Security Council reform and legal reform. And for Security Council, we are doing the Libya and Japan nuclear crisis. A lot of issues between conferences are redundant and recycled. And for the National Court of Justice, we're doing the whaling rights between Australia and Japan. And the questions relating to the obligation to prosecute or extradite between Senegal and Belgium. And we have a logistics set between 8 a.m. in the morning to 9:30 at night on May 21st. And that's all we got.
Excellent. Thank you, AJ. Okay, so moving on to psychology club. Christina. I'm going to say it. Is it Hinojosa? Hinojosa. Okay, Christina.
Thank you. So, it was a couple weeks ago, but thank you to everyone that helped out at our Think event. It was really an awesome event. Super excited about it. So thank you, yes, and everyone that I saw out there helping out. We're really, really happy about that. And the next thing as a club we're doing is the NAMI Walk. It's the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So we're going to be walking on Saturday, April 30th at the Ventura Beach Promenade. It's 5K? 5K. It actually goes by fairly fast. So we're trying to get pledges, and if you'd like to sign up to walk with us on that day, we have a team site on their site. It's BC Psychology Club. So it's free. Sign up, come out and walk with us. It'll be fun.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Christina. Okay, so with that, we're going to finish 10 minutes early today, unless anybody has something else to say, anything to point out.
Can we talk more about the sports between OC?
It's not on the agenda today. So what I'm going to do is entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. We've got Monte right there, and seconding it. All those in favor say aye.
I knew it. Why is it doing that?
Oh, and also